Hi everyone. I'm just going to assume you can hear me and you can see me. It was fascinating to listen in on the tail end of that discussion. And maybe if I can just add from the perspective of an employer, is that the interview process is not a test, and we're not trying to catch you out on any of these things or put a question with a terminology to see if if you can Google fast enough to understand what the question is. Um, we're looking to understand you as a person a bit better, and understand where your passions are and what your interest is, as well as your skill set or your aptitudes, if you like. So anyway, let me get onto my topic for today. And I thank you all for your time, and the university for the opportunity to spend this time with you and to address you. I'm going to just share presentation on screen. Our company is called Tukana Solutions. We're actually based in KZN. Myself personally, as you can see on the slide, I was also recruited in one of those interviews. I remember being exceptionally nervous for my interview, and that's how I started with the company. At the time, it was called Computer Management. So with me today, I've got David and Tasvir, who are also both graduates who were employed through Tukana's graduate recruitment program. And I would say probably 95% or more of our staff are products, if you like, of this graduate recruitment programs. So it's very exciting to be looking at the next cycle of that program. So myself, I'm the Chief Commercial Officer, but one of the company directors, but kind of wear many hats, and I tend to still dabble in the technology from time to time. I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of the company, what we do and who we do it for. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time telling you about the starting package and all the wonderful perks of working for the company, that you get an extensive amount of leave, and we have company car programs and long-term incentives. Okay, so a couple of fast facts about the company. The roots go way back, but the legal entity of Tukana was established in 2002. We have over 150 people, mostly IT developers. We're an IT company. We're not an industry or a business that has an IT division. We look after multiple customers. And I think for me, that's one of the key reasons I'm still here. I would never have thought I'd be in one place for so long, but my place is in the same company, but yet the customers I deal with, the responsibilities I have changed many times over the years. But we have multiple sites, and I'll talk about that shortly. Most of our business, most of our customers are in financial services, in insurance specifically, general life and healthcare or medical aid insurance. We use a lot of technologies, but quite a lot of Oracle, a lot of Microsoft also, but a lot of Oracle. Oracle Partner of the Year 2 or 3 years ago. We've got customers all over Africa, and beyond in some cases, but we have customers everywhere, pretty much. More than 2 million lives in annual premiums that we collect for our customers. And I think our key differentiator for most of our customers is that we're an IT shop, but we're focused on their industry. So we have great industry and business expertise as well. There's our offices. If you're based in Durban, you'll recognize that building. It's got Ilovo branding on it. We have 2 floors in one of those buildings. We're renaming our offices to hubs. So you'll see this is the Durban hub. More on that in a minute. It's relatively new news, so to speak. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we've been recognized and awarded various accolades. Our solution is featured at Oracle Open World. If you haven't heard of that, it's one of the largest tech conferences globally, with more than 70,000 delegates in attendance. I've been fortunate to attend 3 Open Worlds myself, one in San Francisco, one in Dubai, and one in London. And I have been privileged enough to be a speaker at two of those conferences. These are some of our customers. So you may not have heard of Tucana necessarily, unless you're familiar with the IT industry, but certainly many of the customers and the brands that we work with and that you would work with if you were working with us are very recognizable and very blue chip businesses. So we spoke, you guys were speaking in your discussion about interviews and questions. Digital transformation, obviously a hot topic. It's really nothing new, it's just accelerating if you think about it. But it's something that we look to enable with our customers. So besides the usual projects, we've been doing a few interesting projects around data mining and artificial intelligence, digital chatbots and so forth. So there's a bit of that type of thing that happens. But our key sort of vision is to enable our customers in their businesses to become agile or to be agile. And that's not agile in a sense of a software development process. That's taking the meaning of that and applying it to business, so being able to move quickly in business and not only in IT. So that means going into new markets, launching new products, adapting to market threats or opportunities, innovating and so forth. And this is what we look to do. And we do this with, this doesn't need new fancy AI technology only. This is everything about how we approach solution design and customer support, you know, whatever the technology is as an enabler. Okay, I just hopefully not going too fast, but we are pressed for time. So to get the most out of the opportunity, I wanted to give you some insight into what is working at Tucana like. At the moment, you can see this is the end of my bedroom, bicycle in the background, whatever. I'm sitting at home working. We're working from home at the moment. So this has become what's cliched as the new normal. But to give you an idea of how we see things post-COVID, I think is quite important. What is the vision of this company? What is the vision of the companies you're looking at potentially working for? And how will they operate? So we've learned during COVID and lockdowns, we've learned that sometimes we can actually be more productive, removed from a noisy environment. But we've also learned that we miss and we need to connect with other human beings, and we need to collaborate, and we need to have those brainwaves, those discussions at the coffee station, by chance meeting, and so forth, and those creative and collaborative moments. So we need to facilitate that. So our view of the world, of our world, Tucana's policy post-COVID, is not just work from home, it's work from anywhere. And I put this picture in as a great example of a completely unrealistic expectation. So yeah, you could try and sit on the beach and work. It's only going to be practical until your battery dies or you can't see your screen because of glare. So there's a responsibility that all our staff have of being productive and getting the job done. But if you can make sure that there's decent Wi-Fi and you'll have electricity and so forth, and you want to go and sit in Timbuktu for a week, then by all means, you know, go for it. We work from anywhere and we collaborate at hubs. And these hubs, we have Durban operational, Cape Town, we have a site secured to have an operational hub for collaboration. And we are opening in Mauritius. And we also have in Harare at the moment. This is not our office. It's a stock art picture that is far less diverse than our staff. But the point is here that what is a hub about? It's a place we can connect, you know, hopefully without social distancing somewhere in the future. But somewhere we can connect, creative spaces, we can have workshops, we can have design sessions, whiteboarding, etc. And there's desks and facilities provided for people who don't want to work from home or who can't work from home because of whatever reason, be that temporary or permanent, depending on their circumstance. So there's just a little insight into what it's going to be like in the new normal, in the new world, working with Tucana. And then Before we go to questions, which we will obviously be happy to field, I want to just introduce my colleagues. So David and Tasvia, maybe I can ask you guys to just share with the students, Anya, when did you graduate, where from, and when did you graduate and then join Tucana? Tasvia, maybe you can go first.
I graduated from UKZN with a degree in computer science. That was about 3 years ago, and I joined Tucana straight out of campus, straight into the graduate program, and my career has taken off because of it. David.
Hi guys. So I've joined Tucana just over 2.5 years ago. So I've joined from UNISA, and my story is a bit different where I've joined with a math and physics degree. So I have joined with very minimal IT knowledge. And I can confess that the Tucana graduate program will provide you with all of the tools that you need to actually build up a successful career at Tucana. The information that you are provided with, the resources that you're provided will give you what you need to create a successful career at Tucana.
Yeah, so Tasvia maybe can give us some insight into that graduate program. What does that mean when you start? How did you learn everything you needed to learn in your computer science degree in order to be productive on day one?
Your degree doesn't prepare you for the working world. Let's just get that straight, right? It gives you the basics that you need. But when you apply to a company, let's say take like Tucana, for example, the graduate program that they send you through, they really take you through the process of how you have to apply the knowledge you have learned into the working world, and it really prepares you for that. I think David is a very good example of that as well, because he came in with no to minimal programming knowledge, and then the program itself has taken his career off in such an extreme slope to a point where I didn't even know about this. And it took me by quite a surprise to learn that he, as a programmer, who is excellent, by the way, has no programming background. The graduate program really, really helps you.
And I think just to clarify, when you start at Tucana, there's a couple months of training, so you're not expected to be delivering tangible work output initially, and we don't expect that you will know the technologies that are in place. So that's how we kick off, and then there's a mentorship, and you join a team, and you have a team lead, and so forth, right? Guys, what is, so that's when you first join and you first join a team, but maybe given you have between you either 2 or 3 years on the job, what is your current roles and what do you guys do now? Maybe shed some light on that with the students.
Okay, let me go first in this. I am a senior software developer or software architect at Tucana Solutions. I manage projects and provide solutions to our clients to make sure that they're happy and they are leading in the industry. Those are just some of my responsibilities. On the other hand, I do have a team and graduates that I have to mentor and make sure that they are up to scratch or they learn the skills that I needed to become better software developers.
So you already have a team working for you?
Yes, I do have people under me that report to me.
So you're not a team lead in that sense of the responsibilities, but you have a responsibility to mentor and look after more junior staff.
Yes.
Great. David, you give us some insight. What do you do at Tucana at the moment?
So currently I work with the critical systems team. So we basically deal with the escalations that are provided by our users. So we look at actually re-engineering to provide a more efficient system for our users that they can actually output at a much faster rate. So I also actually mentor 2 juniors. Basically, one is a grad and one has now started to work towards building his career. And we actually look to grow the users, the developers up into a better career.
Great. And then maybe one last question. I don't know how much time we have, but how is the working world at Tucana compared to perhaps what your expectations were when you were a student going for your first interview? A tricky one, perhaps.
You have such a limited view of what is required of you when you do start a job. Like as my perception of it when I started was, so you just go there, you do your code, you just do the job that's handed to you, and then you just, that's it at the end of the day. But working for Tucana has made me realize that I'm capable of so much more. Like there's so much more that I can offer. There's so much more that I can give back, not just to the company, but to the people around me to help their experiences, just with software development and the coding, to give them a much better overall experience, if that makes sense to you guys.
Well, I'm hearing
It's
the
just provide
collaboration with your colleagues is something you didn't anticipate to the extent that it is.
Yes, the knowledge that you can gain from not just your textbook, but from the people around you is just insane.
So just in interest of time, I think let me not ask any other of the thoughts that come to my mind, and let's maybe open to the floor if there are any questions from any of the students. There is an email address. It's quite simple, careers@tucana.co.za. So that's how you can reach out.